Hello, how you doing? It's Heather and Phil, and we are just outside of Finley Stadium, which you may be able to see over there. And we're about to shoot some UTC soccer tonight. It's going to be UTC versus a team all the way out from the West Coast. The University of San Francisco is in town to play. They came out to this side of the country to play the University of Georgia Bulldogs, and they went ahead and added Chattanooga to their trip. So that's pretty cool. Tonight, Heather's going to be using her Canon R7, and I'm letting her use my 70 to 200 f2.8. She's going to have 112 to 320 millimeters full frame equivalent. I've got the Sony a6700 and my brand new, it literally just came in today, Samyang 35 f2 to 150 f2.8. What a crazy range that is, and great aperture speed. That comes out to 52.5 to 225 full frame equivalent. So mine's going to be a little bit too short for soccer. Really, hers is kind of the perfect range. 100 to 300 is really good. She's got 112 to 320. That's a great range for soccer. But I'm excited about using this lens. I think it's only been on the market a couple months, maybe 3 by the time you see this video. And we're going to get down to the field right now and get started. I had my a6700 in continuous shooting high plus drive mode. That's the fastest drive mode on this camera. It's 11 frames per second. I used the mechanical shutter with the electronic first curtain shutter turned off, so full mechanical on the shutter. I was shooting in continuous autofocus, and I had my autofocus tracking sensitivity set to 4. The last time I shot sports with this camera, which was the first time I shot sports with this camera, I had it on 1, and that is supposed to be the most sticky, but it doesn't react fast enough for sports. So I tried 4 this time. 3 is the standard setting. I tried 4 this time and it worked very well. All right, here are my shots with the Samyang 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 and the Sony a6700. You can see all the settings up here in the top left. For example, this shot was 1/1600th f2.8, ISO 500, 150 millimeters with the Samyang. Just look at the separation that you get at 2.8. I was at the end of the field, all the way down in what football would call an end zone, and that gave me a background that didn't have stands, because unfortunately these ladies soccer matches are not very well attended, and this stadium I think holds 20,000 people, so it looks very empty if you're showing the stands. I like the leading lines in this shot, all these players going from small to big, but it's not that their sizes are that much difference, it's just the distance away that they are. Another 150 millimeter shot. Here's a 150 millimeter shot of the captain of the San Francisco team. And I got a lot of pictures of her because the corner of the field where I was working was also kind of her position on the field. So many pictures of her. This shot's only 61 millimeters, f2.5 for this one, was wide open. Although you can see some empty stands over here on the right hand side of the frame, it also shows all the bricks in the back of Finley Stadium and some of the buildings back behind Finley Stadium, which I thought was pretty cool. We got Naked River Brewing over here, and I'm not sure what this is. I think it might be a condominium of some sort. Another shot in that same sequence. She's kicking it, and it looks like the girl from San Francisco may be blocking that pass. Here's another one of Chattanooga's players, number 7, as she's working the ball. San Francisco's number 11 featured again. 150 millimeter shot of number 11 as she's about to totally wallop that ball. If you look closely, she's off the ground. She hasn't planted this foot yet, but she's about to plant it and kick that thing. Looks like this girl's a captain as well. They have co-captains. Chattanooga player, number 13, working the ball. Nice background. Look at the separation. That's what fast lenses are good for. I believe this indicates that she's a team captain. Number 7 and number 11 working the ball down the field. Great separation. And that battle continues and gets a little more intense. There's number 7 and number 11 again, but this time they're a little bit separated. A lot of 150 millimeter shots. It's just not quite long enough for soccer. But even this shot where it's 150 millimeters, once you crop it to kind of a widescreen sort of a situation, I'll full screen it, I think it tells a nice story about the game. It shows how large the field is that these girls are playing on. A little tighter shot here of a couple of girls battling for the ball. This is probably in that same sequence. And this is probably also in that same sequence. Another thing with a lens that's not very long, like this one is, if you're shooting soccer, it's best to wait until the action is very near you on the field. So a lot of these shots that I'm showing you are in sequences that happen pretty close together, and then it'll be a while before they're back in your area of the field. Man, number 11 is intense, isn't she? I love this one. 15's about to kick it over towards the center, hopefully setting up another kick for a goal, but number 11 for San Francisco has other ideas. She's coming in, and then as she kicks it, number 11's jumping in front of it to stop it. Really intense play. Here's Chattanooga's number 18, and she's running down the field with the ball. Another shot of the super intense and completely off the ground, number 11. And there's number 11 again with Chattanooga's number 10. You can see Heather in this shot. She's working from the side. I was working from the end zone, and she's working from the side. There's number 15 and number 11 battling yet again. And number 18 looks like she's taking a shot on goal. Unfortunately, I don't think it was a successful shot on goal, but it was cool nonetheless. Wouldn't it be awesome if all of these seats were filled with Boca-fied people in the background instead of just Boca-fied emptiness? I think this is the first shot I have of number 17. Here's another argument over the ball. Who's got control? Looks like 15 does for Chattanooga. And this is my favorite shot of the whole match. I just love the way this turned out. I actually shared this. If you follow me on social media, I shared this one on social media. Really cool because they were pretty close to me. I'm only at 59 millimeters here, and f2.2 is wide open at 59 millimeters on that lens. And it's really great separation between these three players. And I'm sitting down. I got my bottom is on the field, so I've got a nice low angle on this shot. There's a Chattanooga player throwing it in, a 59 millimeter shot at f2.2, and another 59 millimeter shot. It looks like I've moved over closer to where Heather is now. 59 millimeter shot here. And now it looks like I've moved almost all the way down to the other side of the field. This is Chattanooga's keeper, and even though I'm at 150 millimeters, she's really small in the frame, so I just let her be small in the frame so you can get an idea of the hugeness of a soccer field as she's kicking this ball back into play. And now it's halftime. This is a photograph of Dale. He's been shooting Chattanooga sports for decades. I believe that is an R6 Mark II and an EF 70-200 2.8 adapted to it. And there's my buddy Ray with his Z9 and Sigma 120-300 2.8 talking to one of the other photographers. Here's a close-up shot of my buddy Ray, 150 millimeter shot, wide open at 2.8, and the background at this distance is completely crushed. Here's number 10 throwing the ball in, and you can see in this shot Heather and Dale and some spectators. This is where the spectators actually sit, and I had moved down to the other side of the field for second half because UTC was attacking the goal on the other side of the field. There's a few of them running down the sidelines. I think I cropped this one to exactly 16:9, so that's kind of cool in a YouTube situation. And it's starting to get dark now, so you can see my ISOs are creeping up and my shutter speeds are creeping down. I had been shooting at 1/1600, and it was overcast all day, which is really nice because on the other side of the field, if you're shooting where I started shooting, you would have the sun right in your face, which is not good for photography of sports, in my opinion. Because it was cloudy, I had a nice softbox so I could shoot from that side. 95 millimeter shot at 95, wide open is 2.8 on the 35-150. Here's number 10. She's going to kick this across, and hopefully someone in the middle will have a shot on goal. And as you can see, my shutter speed has slowed down to 1/1000th now, and my ISO, even though my shutter speed is lowering, my ISO continues to creep up as it gets darker and darker. Although Finley Stadium has fairly decent lights, there's only so much they can do. Looks like 15 and 21 are trying to get their head on this one. I love the eye contact with the ball here from both players. I love this shot as well. Number 15, she's just about to take a shot on goal, and that's the Boca-fied San Francisco keeper there in the background. Getting darker now. It's more light from the lights now than from the sun, as number 3 is throwing this one in. Number 13, she's going to catch this one not with her head, just with her chest, just enough to knock it down to her feet so she can take control of the ball. Here's a Chattanooga player just about to wallop that thing. And that is my last shot of the match. Heather used the mechanical shutter on her R7. Heather used servo autofocus, and the case she selected was case 4, which is for subjects that accelerate or decelerate quickly. She had her tracking sensitivity set in the middle on 0 and her accelerate decelerate tracking set to +1. All right, here are Heather's photos with the Canon R7 and the 70-200 2.8. And just like with my pictures, the settings will be right up here. As you can see, she used the 70-200 2.8L. She's at 1/2500th to start out. I don't think I shot that fast, but her ISO was only 640, so that seems good to me. She sat on the sideline instead of in the end zone. If you're on a football field, she was about on the 25 or 30 yard line during the first half. One of our girls driving the ball down the field. And there's number 15 maneuvering the ball. Number 15 with San Francisco's number 5 as they're working hard to gain control of the ball here. Driving down the field. She's going to do, I don't think she's trying to get her head on that. I think she's going to try to catch it with her chest and put it down to her feet where she'll have control. 92mm shot. Looks like Heather's slowed down to 1/2000th. More of the same, battling for the ball. Looks like number 16 is about to pass with a sideways kick. 200mm shot. Another 200mm shot of number 15 and number 25. Really great separation with the 70-200 2.8. I think if you're shooting APS-C, the 70-200 2.8 is the best lens you can possibly use. So Heather had just the right gear for this shoot. Nice close shot here. Heather's opened it up to 95mm to capture this one. A 79mm shot here is number 7. It looks to be running away from number 30 going down the field. Looks like the sun came out for just a moment, and you can see the players are a little bit backlit. The sun's coming in from the left, so if I was in the end zone, they would be 100% backlit for me. And this one's a fairly backlit shot as well, as she's got Chattanooga's number 18 here at 187mm. There's number 15 and number 11, and I like that she's got the Chattanooga Mocs logo here in the background. That's kind of cool. These girls were intense as they worked to control the ball. There's Chattanooga's number 17. Looks like it might be starting to get a little bit darker, but not so much. She's still only at ISO 640 at a 1/2000th shot. And look at that kick she's caught of this San Francisco player. She looks almost like a gymnast. There's Chattanooga's number 15, a 200mm shot. And I believe this is in the second half now. I'm not sure where her pictures changed to the second half, but I'm almost sure this is the second half. It's intense when they head one. Players continuing to battle for the ball. Once again, it is intense when they get their head on it. I mean, I know it's part of the sport, but it looks painful when it happens. Another example of that. Number 10 looks like she's going to try to get in front of that ball and slow it down a little. And I caught this shot at almost the exact same time of the Chattanooga player kicking it past the San Francisco player here. Getting darker. Heather slowed down to 1/1250th now, and her ISO has crept up to 1250. And now her ISO is at 1600. I think this is the photograph that Chattanooga used on their website. You can find this one on the Chattanooga website. Here's another shot of number 15. This is pretty late in the match, and a lot of these girls have been playing the entire match, so they're getting pretty sweaty, as you would think. I'd be covered in sweat after 5 minutes, but they've been playing almost 90. There's Chattanooga's number 5, passing one across. Another pretty intense battle for the ball here at 70mm. ISO's crept up to 2000, and that is Heather's last shot. Well, that was a lot of fun shooting with the Samyang 35-150. Heather, how did you like shooting with the Canon 70-200?
It was good.
You like that lens?
Yeah.
It's pretty fancy. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you do, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see some more stuff like this, subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.